Now the news in detail. Two leading Indian cricketers who arrived in Sri Lanka for Ayurvedic treatment paid a courtesy call on President Rajapaksa. Indian opening batsman Gautam Gambhir and left-arm fast bowler Ashish Nehra, who plays for the Delhi Daredevils, met the President at Temple Trees after receiving treatment. The two cricketers thanked the President and also Dr. Elianta White, who treated them and for their speedy recovery.
Dr. White, and he's been really supportive. I really want to thank the President of Sri Lanka. I really want to thank from the bottom of my heart that he's really helped us a lot. President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Dilshan just told us just before 3-4 days that there's Dr. White, he's like really good. Sri Lankan President really helped us, and Dr. White is with us from last 2-3 days. So it has been great help, especially in this important season of IPL. But since I've got this medicine from Dr. White from last 2-3 days, I'm feeling quite good. So hopefully within 1 week or 10 days time, I'll be able to play.
The salary arrears of teachers will be paid before the end of May. The vote on account has not provided for the teachers' salary arrears. A new budget will be presented before the 30th of April when Parliament meets on the 22nd. Minister Susil Premajanta said funds have been allocated to pay the arrears. He said that the amounts to be paid have already been calculated in the zonal education offices. Meanwhile, the teachers and non-academic staff of national schools will be paid festival advance before the 1st of next month. Monk parliamentarian the Venerable Athuraliya Ratanathera has underlined that they are totally against getting down the black American pop vocalist Akon as he insults the Buddha Dhamma. Addressing a media briefing today, he said that controversy arose throughout the world over the visuals of this pop singer. He had recorded his songs with visuals of girls dancing before the Buddha statue. He had been strongly criticized by international Buddhist organizations. The Venerable Thera pointed out that a majority of his songs does not suit the local culture. Advisor to the National Bhikkhu Federation, Ashoka Maniguda, pointed out that the public should rise against media establishments which organize such shows in contrary to local culture. He said since President Rajapaksa assumed office, he made an untiring effort to uplift the spiritual ideas. He made this effort through the Religious Affairs Ministry. It is at this juncture that several organizations had made arrangements to conduct this show. He was optimistic that the President would avert his attention to this matter. The Sirasa staff had attacked the protest staged opposite the Sirasa head office against the denigration of local culture and the Buddha Dhamma. Critics point out that neither a media establishment nor any other individual can take the law into their hands. The demonstrators who were caught up in the clash said that they had no desire of attacking the Sirasa main office at Braybrook Place in Colombo. A protest was organized near the Sirasa head office yesterday against the organization of a concert by getting down a foreign vocalist. A peaceful demonstration was held but turned violent after the protesters were attacked by the Sirasa staff. The Sirasa staff members claimed that they assaulted a group of thugs until they dispersed. This has been consolidated from the statements made by the staff members to the media. The demonstrators pointed out that they had no need to leave the location if their intention was to attack the Sirasa office. They emphasized that their demonstration was peaceful. However, they were attacked by the Sirasa workers. In the meantime, police media spokesman SP Prashant Jayakodi said the 16 suspects who were arrested over yesterday's incident have been enlarged on bail. He pointed out that inquiries are in progress to determine whether the suspects taken into custody had been involved in the attack. You're watching Prime TV News and still with news at home. Friendly countries have come forward against Western influence on Sri Lanka's sovereignty. This displays the appreciation of the government's foreign policy. Professor Rajiva Vijayasinghe, former secretary to the Ministry of Disaster Management and Human Rights, expressed views on the protest made by many countries, including Russia and China, to the UN Secretary General's proposal to appoint an advisory panel on Sri Lanka.
As we know, Ban Ki-moon was under some pressure from a few countries and some NGOs who kept needling him. And he obviously felt obliged to make some sort of statement. But particularly after the non-aligned movement came out so very strongly, it was surprising that he pursued this matter. But I think the fact that, countries like Russia and China on the Security Council, plus other countries in the non-aligned movement have been quite firm, is a very good sign. And I think is a credit to our foreign policy. And there's a new sense, I think, of a multipolar world. And I think it's very important that countries like Russia and China on the Security Council take the lead in just telling the West they cannot run the world according to their own agenda, some of which is just so implausible and hypocritical that we have to resist it. And I think we must make common cause with other countries. Not that we're against anybody, but our non-aligned policies, which Mr. Milind Bandaranaike fulfills so admirably, they were changed in the 70s, 80s and 90s. I think that change, which allowed the West to think it dominated, is now over. And I think this is a very good instance of the manner in which the rest of the world has to work together to stop injustice.
Postmaster General MKB Dissanayake has said that 7,500 postmen will be deployed to deliver the official poll cards. The distribution commences today. The Postmaster General said that the official poll cards were handed over to the Postal Department by the returning officers and the Election Office yesterday. He said necessary arrangements are being made prior to the distribution. The delivery will take place up to the 31st of this month, while 28th will be treated as a special day despite it being a holiday. Necessary infrastructure has been provided for distribution in the north, including the welfare camps. He said police protection will be provided whenever necessary. Police protection has been provided for the post offices where large stocks of poll cards have been stored. He said that protection will also be provided through mobile services. The Archbishop of Colombo and the Catholic community of the Archdiocese have expressed their grave concern and disapproval of the newspaper advertisement that appeared together with the election symbol of the party concerned in the Lankadepa of 22nd. It appealed to the public to vote for Sarath Fonseca. A statement issued by the Archdiocese denounced the use of the sacred image of Jesus Christ for election campaigns. Jesus Christ, who became and came down on earth, is the Son of God, the creator of the whole universe. Hence, he is a universal personality. He does not belong to any political party. The Archbishop of Colombo earnestly urged all political parties and organizers of all political campaigns to refrain from using the image of Jesus Christ or those of any saint of the Catholic religion to gain petty political mileage. The Sri Lanka Tea Board has selected as its collaborator the Sri Lanka Standards Institution to continue with an appropriate certification scheme for the tea industry. The Tea Board stated the termination of the TASL SGS certification program came to an end along with the closure of the plantation development project at the end of 2008. The Plantation Industries Ministry passed on to the board the responsibility of continuing with an appropriate certification scheme for the tea industry. The board is currently creating awareness on the importance of the industry obtaining quality certification. Since the two institutions, the Tea Board and the Standards Institution, came under two separate ministries, the Plantation Industries Ministry and the Science and Technology Ministry, the collaboration between the two ministries has received the nod of the Cabinet to launch such a project. According to Tea Board, although some of the preliminary work such as preparation of manuals and the audit programs were being done under the TASL SGS certification scheme, most of these documentations had to be updated and edited in such a way to suit the new scheme. It has also been decided between the Tea Board and the Standards Institution that certain amount of value addition into the previous certification project had to be introduced under the new scheme. An awareness program for a fair cross-section of chief executive officers of the regional plantation companies and also the heads of tea-related institutes will be held tomorrow. We now bring you the foreign current